Hello dear friends, I am Avadhesh Pratap Patel and today we are going to talk about the entry of Islam in India. This is one of the least discussed yet very important topic which has direct influence on the entire Indian history. So before talking about the entry of Islam in India, let's have a quick overview or a brief introduction of Islam. What is Islam? Well, Islam is a monotheistic Abrahamic religion based on Quran and the teachings of Muhammad. Now, here rises a question. Who is Muhammad? Well, Muhammad, better known as Prophet Muhammad in the Islamic world, was born in and around 570 AD in Mecca, which was located in Hejaz region of western Saudi Arabia, including the western coast. His father was Abdullah, who was the son of Quraysh tribal chief, and his mother Amina belonged to the same tribe. Abdullah was a member of a merchant caravan and spent most of Amina's pregnancy outside his home. Unfortunately, he died just 3 months before Muhammad's birth. Amina also died when Muhammad was 6 years old, leaving him an orphan. Muhammad was raised by his uncle Abu Talib. Well, as far as Quraysh tribe is concerned, the people of Quraysh tribe are considered to be the descendants of Ismail, the son of Abraham, and that's why Islam is known as an Abrahamic faith or religion. When Muhammad grew up, he started secluding himself for several night prayers periodically in a mountain cave named Hira. And in 610, when he was 40 years old, he was reported to have been visited by Gabriel, an angel, and was reported to have received revelations from God. In 613 AD, he started propagating and preaching these revelations that Allah is one and complete submission to Him is the right way of life. He called himself the Prophet. Well, the concept that Allah is one and there should be complete submission to Him is called Islam, and the right way of life in Islam is known as Deen. When his popularity grew, the pagan and polytheist Arabs, well, the Arabs were polytheists and they used to worship many gods and goddesses like Mannat and all before their conversion to Islam. So the pagan and polytheist Arabs started persecuting Muhammad and his followers. They placed trade embargoes against them. They continued to persecute the followers of Muhammad for the 13 years. To save his followers, Muhammad migrated to city of Medina in 622 AD along with his followers. This event is known as the Great Migration or Hijr. But just after 2 years, he came back to retake his hometown of Mecca. And Battle of Badr was fought between the Muslims led by Muhammad and the pagan Arabs. By 630 AD, Muhammad was able to reoccupy or reconquer his hometown of Mecca, and he died in 632 AD. But by the time he died, the entire Western Arabian Peninsula had converted to Islam. His death posed a serious question of political and religious leadership. The political and religious leadership was passed on to 4 caliphates in a line. The first one was Rashidun Caliphate, second was Umayyad Caliphate, Abbasid Caliphate was the third, and the fourth caliphate was claimed by Ottomans in 1517, until the Ottoman Caliphate was abolished in 1924 by secularization of Turkey. Now, what was secularization of Turkey? It was the adoption of some policy changes suggested by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, leading to the adoption of secular constitution of Turkey in 1924. Well, let's come back to the first caliphate, the Rashidun Caliphate. Just after Muhammad's death in 632, a Saqifa event took place. This Saqifa event was nothing but a general meeting of Muslims to discuss the leadership of Islam. And Abu Bakr, the father-in-law of Muhammad, who was and the person who was the father of Aisha, the beloved wife of Muhammad, was chosen as the first caliph. But this decision did not please everyone in the Muslim community. There was a section of Muslims which was dissatisfied and disappointed because, according to them, Ali was the true heir and successor of Muhammad. Ali was his son in law. According to them, Saqifa was nothing but a conspiracy, and the Abu Bakr was one of the usurpers. Actually, the Rashidun Caliphate had four caliphs: Abu Bakr, followed by Umar, was followed by Usman, and then Ali. So, according to some people, Saqifa event was a conspiracy, and the first three caliphs were nothing but usurpers. These people were later termed as Shias, and other people were called Sunnis. So, as far as Shia and Sunni chasm is concerned, Shias are those people who considered Ali to be the true heir and successor of Muhammad, and Sunnis were those people who believed in the legitimacy of the Saqifa event and considered all four as pious caliphs. Well, Ali was assassinated in 661 AD, and Muawiyah founded the Umayyad Caliphate. Now, in this Umayyad Caliphate, there were 14 caliphs, and Abd al-Malik was the fifth one. His caliphate was challenged by a Mecca-based rebel, Abd al-Allah al-Zubair. He was not an ordinary rebel, as he was the nephew of Aisha, the beloved wife of Muhammad. Abd al-Malik tasked al-Hajjaj for crushing the rebellion of al-Zubair. Al-Hajjaj executed this task by killing al-Zubair in 692 and was appointed as the governor of Hejaz in Yemen as a reward. In 694, he was appointed as a governor of Iraq, and the area under his command included a region stretching from today's Iraq to Transoxiana. It included today's Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, southern Kyrgyzstan, and southwestern Kazakhstan. He sent his three commanders in three different directions to conquer more land and spread Islam. Mujja ibn Sir was sent to conquer Oman. Qutayba ibn Muslim was sent to Transoxiana, and Muhammad bin Qasim was sent to invade Sindh. And he was the first successful Muslim invader of India. But he was not the first one to try. If we have to see the history of Islamic invasions against India, we have to track them back to the time of Umar, the second caliph. When Umar became the second caliph of Rashidun Caliphate, he appointed Usman as the governor of Bahrain in 636 AD. And the very next year, he sent a troop of soldiers to Thane to invade India. But the troop of soldiers were thoroughly defeated by the Rashtrakuta kings there. Then Usman's brother Hakam sent two military expeditions against Bharuch, which is today known as Bharuch in Gujarat, and Debal. Now, Debal was the name of ancient place called Devalia, which once existed where today Karachi is located. Both of the expeditions failed. When Usman became the caliph, he sent another military expedition against Makran. Makran is a region which is located where the border of Pakistan and Iran meet nearby the coast. This invasion also failed because of the Jat soldiers there. Then Ali, when he was appointed as the fourth caliph, sent his general Haraz, who was killed in the Battle of Kikan nearby Sindh by the Jat soldiers again. So in this way, we can say the first four caliphs, or all the caliphs of Rashidun Caliphate, died without seeing a single military victory against Al Hind or India. Now, we have to come to Abd al-Malik again. So, Abd al-Malik wanted expansion in India, and Al-Hajjaj was made the chief of this task. Al-Hajjaj was searching for an opportunity to invade the subcontinent, and he received this opportunity in 708. This year, one ship from Serendip or Ceylon, which is today known as Sri Lanka, ferrying some Muslim women, was captured by the rebels nearby the Debal port of Sindh. He quickly sent an emissary to Dahir with a message that he should set free the woman immediately. Dahir showed his inability, as he did not command any jurisdiction over the pirates. But using it as a pretext, Al-Hajjaj sought permission from the Caliph to invade Sindh and sent two military expeditions against his trusted generals, Ubaidullah bin Nabhan. Ubaidullah bin Nabhan was the first one, and Budal was the second one. Under these two military commanders, two military expeditions were sent against Sindh. But both the military expeditions failed, and their leaders, Ubaidullah bin Nabhan and Budal, were killed by the army of Dahir, the Hindu king of Sindh. Then he sent Muhammad bin Qasim, his nephew and son-in-law, who was merely 21 years old, and he used his diplomatic skills and met with Mocha. Mocha was one of the trusted chief of Dahir. Mocha sided with Muhammad bin Qasim in the greed, because he was promised a vast area of territory once Muhammad bin Qasim would defeat Dahir. This was the first instance of Hindu treachery against a Hindu king, and the entire medieval history was plagued by such events. After Mocha sided with Muhammad bin Qasim, after crossing Indus, invaded Dahir, and Dahir was killed in the battlefield. Dahir's queen performed Jauhar in the fort of Raur. This was the first incident of Jauhar in the Hindu history. His son Jaisimha retreated to Brahmanabad, and later on was also defeated at Alor, and he had to fled to his safety. So these were the initial Islamic invasions, which were successfully repelled by the Hindu kings for several centuries. How the Islamic invasions made their way in India and how Islam influenced the Indian society, this we will see in the next video. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.